Hey, what's up, guys? It's N Squared Sports coming back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the recent news of Jamal Adams being traded to the Seattle Seahawks. So, Nick, give us the rundown of this trade.
Yeah, so we had a massive trade today, and like Nick said, and the Seattle Seahawks traded for Jamal Adams. They gave up their 2021 first round pick, 2021 third round pick, 2022 first round pick, and safety Bradley McDougald for Jamal Adams, and a fourth round, 2022 fourth rounder pick. This is a big deal. Jamal Adams, the two-time All-Star in 3 years. He is he's one of only players to have, I think, 200 tackles, I think 12 sacks, and like four forced fumbles and a couple interceptions. I don't know the exact stats, but he is an elite player right now, and he has shown himself in every way. He transformed the defense of the New York Jets. He was part of the reason the Jets had the number one rushing defense in the NFL. He is fantastic in the box. He is he's probably the best box safety in the NFL. And that's exactly sort of what the Seahawks need. So Nick, let me hear you. I got some other takes, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
Okay. So basically, what I would say to this trade is I believe that the New York Jets won this trade pretty easily, and I don't know if you agree. We haven't talked about this really at all, but that's my take first, is that the Jets won this trade. I mean, when you're getting two first round picks and a third round pick, now those picks could end up being busts, that easily they could. And then like once we see that, then we could say, oh, the Seahawks won the trade now. But as of right now, you're getting two first round picks and a third, and getting a I would say top 20 safety in the NFL right now. And Bradley McDougald, I'm sure you probably have his stats, but I also have his stats pulled up, and we'll go through that a little later. But he's pretty good. And the Seahawks get Jamal Adams, who probably is a top three safety in the league right now. So definitely improvement at that safety spot. And then a fourth round pick, which fourth round picks can be good, but most likely they're going to be just a role player on any sort of team. Most likely they're not going to be a super talented player all the time. They can be, but not all the time. So just by that, you say, okay, Jamal Adams is great, but we get a guy that's probably, you know, Jamal Adams might be a 9 out of 10. Yeah, Bradley McDougald might be a 7 out of 10. So just a little bit worse, but you still get two first round picks and a third. So I just think with that, you got to say that the Jets won this trade.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said there, to be honest with you. I don't think the Seahawks lost the trade, though. I don't want that to be implied whenever you say the Jets won. The Seahawks are going all in, and they went all in with a top end safety. We remember whenever, I think this is whenever we both started watching, really, was Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor was what Pete Carroll loves in his defense. And that defense was bad. And there was a lot of, like, for me, I remember I'm looking at their schedule and I'm like, I love this team because Russell Wilson, but this team roster by itself is really not a playoff roster. It's really not that great of a roster. But they're getting like Quentin Diggs, which we made a video on about they're getting him back after his rest, and Jamal Adams. They're getting defense pieces that they need to really get to that next level. And I really think they're going all in. This is sort of the point that I want to make. At least I want to talk about the Seahawks side first here. But I want to talk about trades in the NFL because we've been seeing a lot more trades in the NFL and a lot more picks. And I think 3 years ago, stuff like this never happened. We compared ourselves, the NBA and NFL fans, there's a lot of overlapping. And the NBA schleps picks like there's no tomorrow. A first round pick is nothing. The point is this is happening a lot in the NFL for elite guys. We're seeing Mika Fitzpatrick was for one first round pick. Amari Cooper was first round pick a couple years ago. I think that was an overpriced, but still first round pick. Laramie Tunsil was two first round picks, 100% worth it. And Jamal Adams is two first round picks. We are seeing a lot of these picks just go. They're willing to give them away. They're willing to trade him away. And I think that's because teams are realizing we'd rather have one great player than maybe a great player. And the Seahawks have honestly had one of the most historically bad first-round picks drafting-wise in the last 5 years. It's been pathetic. All of them have been pretty much busts. So trade away. If you're not good at drafting, trade it away. And most likely those picks are going to be in the 23 to 27, 28 range. Now moving on to the Jets. The Jets got, in addition to they already have their first rounders, they can either move up in drafts, trade down in drafts, possibly get 2 more first rounders. They can do what they want. And the Jets didn't need a star player. They need a lot more role players. And Bradley McDougall, do you have the stats on you right now if you want to talk about him?
So basically, I don't have his full stats, but basically the important ones is from 2017 to 2019, he has 45 solo tackles or more, with 3 picks in 2018 and 2 picks in 2019. So those are all, I can get more, but just by those numbers, those are pretty decent numbers for a safety.
Yeah.
So I'll pull up the rest, but.
And the Jets drafted one of my favorite safeties coming out of the draft. And I don't think they already have, in my opinion, a top 10 defense. I love their defense. They got pieces. They don't need one star player. What they need is a bunch of wide receivers, a solidified O-line, and maybe some cornerbacks. That's what they need. They don't need a safety. The Seahawks need a safety.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
continue.
So I was just gonna say that. So his stats since he got to the Seahawks, he came to the Seahawks in 2017. Now he'll be on the Jets, but since he came to Seattle for 3 years, he's played 16 games twice and 15 games the other year. So he plays almost every game. He's had in the last 3 years, actually in the last 5 years, he's had at least 73 total tackles each year. Along with he had half a sack last year, and he gets probably around 2 or 3 picks every year. So those are pretty good numbers for safety. So
yeah, they don't need him to be elite, honestly. And the Jets defense is probably gonna, it's gonna leak just a little bit without Jamal Adams, but that's fine. So do you have anything else to say?
Not really, but to finish, I guess I'll just say that I think definitely you can see both sides on this. You can see that the Seahawks wanted to go all in and say, hey, we need a star player. And like you said, the Jets just need a bunch of talent because their team, they have pieces around, but they just need a pretty good overhaul of talent, because especially in this division coming up, when you have the Dolphins who are going to get better and you have the Bills who are already coming together, you're going to need some pieces more than just what they have now. You're going to need to fill out your roster more to compete.
And to the point that I think I was sort of beating around the bush of the trades, I think we're seeing the NFL now realize that, we can trade players for first round picks.
Yeah.
And that almost may be worth it. And why not just get rookies and just keep on getting rookies, so that we can just develop them and ship them off and get more in return? Why do we have to pay these guys? I don't think for the picks are as important anymore as they were 5 years ago. I think we're slowly seeing it morph into an NBA-esque value of picks, really. So that's really that's a big point that I was really wanting. I was telling Nick, I was like, I got a point I really want to talk about before this video, and that's sort of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I totally agree. So that was our video on Jamal Adams. Just to let you all know, when this comes out later today will be our final, or not our final, one of our finals of the NBA videos where we're ranking, making a case for each team. So the NBA actual season starts in about, when this comes out, it'll be about 3 or 4 days. So make sure y'all are tuned in to each of those videos if you want to see what teams we think have a chance to make the NBA Finals this year. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys next time.